Can I get a harvest from my pathways? Well, today I'm going to start an experiment to find out if I can by growing edible mushrooms. So over the last few years I've been building up this garden bit by bit. I've added some grow beds and of course also some pathways. The surface area of all my pathways together is actually pretty big. I think it's a quarter to even a third of the garden. And even though I produce enough food in my grow beds, I still feel like the pathways are a bit of a waste of space since they're not producing anything. So recently I've learned that some people actually grow a certain type of edible mushroom in their pathways. And when I heard that, I thought that is a great experiment to try. Now, I love the kingdom of mushrooms. I like the world of fungi. I think it's mysterious, I think it's wonderful, and I think we need to learn a lot more about it. In the past, I've also tried to grow oyster mushrooms myself. It was successful and it's really fun to do. And this year I want to step it up and try to grow some edible mushrooms in my garden. Now, the specific mushroom we're talking about is the wine cap mushroom, also known as the king Stropharia or the garden giant, as it can grow to pretty big size. It is a very recognizable mushroom. If you think about a mushroom and you should draw one, you would probably draw that one as it has a white stem and a red-brown cap. Now, it loves to break down organic material, so that's why it's perfect to mix in with your pathways if you're using wood chips or straw, for example. Now, to get this experiment started, I'm going to use 4 things. First of all, this here is a bag of wood shavings. And this is where the mycelium of the wine cap mushroom has been grown on. And I'm going to scatter this over my pathway so that it can grow into the medium, into the substrate. Then over here I have a big bag of straw. This is going to be easy, accessible energy for the mycelium to latch onto. And of course over here I have the fresh wood chips. This is a slow but also a long-lasting energy source for the mycelium. And our final ingredient is going to be water. Mushrooms like to grow in humid conditions. They themselves consist out of 70 to 90% water, so we must make sure that they don't dry out. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so that bag was enough for the first half of the garden. I'm now going to water all of the straw so that the mycelium has a nice humid environment to grow in. So mycelium sprang into my face. Alright, so this over here is the wood shaving or the sawdust mycelium. As you can see, the white stuff around the wood is the mycelium. And I'm going to break up this material and scatter it over the pathways. And then it will slowly grow into that and create a nice mycelium network. Now, like I said, I'm just going to break this apart. The more particles you have, the more surface area you have to start the inoculation in the straw bedding. Inoculation basically means infecting, but infecting in a beneficial way to you. Yeah, this is how you can inoculate your pathways. You can also do this on your grow beds. Say if you put straw down on your grow beds as a mulch, then you can also spread some mycelium in those grow beds, and then you might actually have a double harvest from the same bed. So for example, have your brassicas that will also provide some shade, and then underneath that shade or in that shade some wine cap mushrooms are growing. So again, double harvest from the same bed, so that is ideal. Now, I think this bag of mycelium is about enough for the amount of straw that I put down. So I actually might do the second half of the garden as well another time. But for now, I'm already quite excited that I can cover the first half of the garden. Alright, so that is all of the mycelium spread and scattered through the pathways. Now I'm going to cover the pathways with the wood chips, and then finally I'm going to water the whole pathway again so that everything stays nice and humid. Normally, mushrooms prefer to grow in shady areas, and the wine cap is no exception. However, it is more resilient to warmth and sunlight. I realize my pathways are in full sun for the most part, but I am willing to take the chance, and it's up to me to keep the pathways watered, especially during hot days. If all goes well, the mycelium will grow through the pathways in the next couple of months, and I might get my first harvest of mushrooms by the end of summer or at the beginning of autumn. So that's about all of the pathways done, at least for the first half of the garden. I'll probably cover the rest of the pathways of the second half of the garden as well, with some straw and some wood chips. Probably not the mycelium, as such a bag is actually pretty expensive. However, it might just so be that when the mycelium settles in the first half of the garden, it might actually spread to the second half of the garden as well, once I put down some straw and some wood chips. And that is also why the wine cap is often referred to as the wandering mushroom, as it can spread throughout your entire garden. Now, I know what you might be thinking, won't it damage the mycelium if you're using your pathways to walk on? That won't be the case. The mycelium can easily handle the pressure, but if you're worried about that, then you might put down some extra tiles just to even out the pressure. Also, when the mushrooms actually start fruiting, they probably won't overgrow the entire pathway, but just pop up randomly, so I'm also not too worried about stepping on them. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope I've inspired you to also get some additional harvest from your pathways. Now, there are some more mushroom projects that I'm working on in the garden, but I'll save those for another video. See you next time. Bye bye.